What's up, everybody? Mike McIntyre here from All Things Sports, bringing you a brand new video today to talk about one of the new shoes in Nike's latest motion blur pack. This is the Hypervenom Phantom in the low-cut variation. I'm very excited about this shoe. I think this is probably one of Nike's best offerings at the moment, so we're gonna unbox it, get right into it right away. Inside you get a Hypervenom string bag. Oddly enough, it's actually a little bit different than the Dynamic Fit Collar Hypervenom 3 string bag. It's got one side that's white, one side that's blue. This one's got an all blue bag, white strings, and an orange Hypervenom graphic there with this sort of pattern that you find on the boot itself. So interesting there, I didn't expect that, but that's the string bag that you get. And then inside are just the shoes themselves. So we're gonna get these guys out of the box quickly, toss that sucker off to the side. All right guys, so there you go. That's a quick look at the new Nike Hypervenom Phantom 3s. Without the Dynamic Fit Collar. I really think this formula is a winner. I think Nike's done something very good with this shoe. If they offered this with all their models, if they made an Obra in Flyknit without the Dynamic Fit Collar, if they made a Superfly in Flyknit without the Dynamic Fit Collar, at least me personally, I think those shoes would sell very well. I think at this point in time, the Flyknit Dynamic Fit Collar is a bit of a gimmick. I still think it looks really cool. I have to admit that. As far as look goes, it's one of the better looking shoes out there. But at this point in time, the Dynamic Fit Collar's sort of done its course. I'm over it personally, and I don't think it offers anything extra in terms of an experience in a boot, and it definitely doesn't offer you anything in terms of performance. This one, on the other hand, gets rid of that nonsense, and it's just a Flyknit upper, which I think is phenomenal, and a good looking shoe. So I really think Nike's done something very good with this shoe. You've got a Flyknit upper. It's got these sort of pads textured all the way around the upper just to give you a bit more surface area on the ball. Again, I don't know how necessary these are. The colorway looks great. You've got this sort of teal ocean blue that runs around half of the shoe, a black swoosh, black branding, and then this white color on the inside half. Again, black swoosh here. Soleplate's a mix of that white and blue. And overall, I'm just a massive fan of white and blue shoes, and you throw a little bit of black in and it just makes everything pop. Massive fan of this shoe. I think it looks phenomenal. So that's it for the upper. This tongue area is basically just an elasticated Flyknit. It's literally as if they've cut the Dynamic Fit Collar off. This is more traditional. The liner here is nice and soft. I think that works great. You don't really need a tongue. This is just elasticated just to get your foot into it, and it provides a unique experience given that the rest of the shoe is also this Flyknit upper. So it's got ACC on top just to give you that bit of texture and that wet control element. You can believe whatever you want with ACC. I think it's a bit of a gimmick, but you know, Adidas does the same thing with their non-stop grip to give you that wet control and element. If you're paying that kind of money, I guess you're glad it's there, but I really don't think it's doing anything. Moving on to the sock liner now. This is something I think every company should do. It's got this thick, very generous piece of foam, and they've lined it with a very nice piece of suede material on top, and they've given you this Nike Grip area right over here. Nike Grip came out with a pair of socks initially. It was something to rival against the True Socks. While it didn't necessarily work and compete on a performance level with the True Socks, it was definitely an interesting development from Nike. And this, on the other hand, works very well in my opinion. It's not going to prevent your foot from sliding all over the place, but it gives you just enough texture that you feel it on the bottom of your foot, and you feel as if the grooves of your feet fit into this, and it's got some sort of lockdown tendency to it, if you will. That's the best way I can describe it. The sole plate is this, same as on the high cut version of the shoe. It's got this curved sole plate, like the Magista, like the Superfly, to sort of mimic the shape of a human foot, and then it combines the studs of almost the Magista over here and the Superfly over here into this unique sort of stud pattern. So you got the same shape, these sort of bladed arrow shapes on the outside studs that you'll find on the Superfly, and then you've got these unique hexagonal studs that are more similar to the Magista line or Tiempo line on the inside of the boot right here. And of course you get these couple of little toe pick studs right here in the middle just to even out the surface and the stud pressure between all of the others. So again, internal heel counter over here just with a little bit of a sort of shank that curves up right here. And that's pretty much it, guys, for the upper. Again, I think this formula is probably one of the best ones from a performance standpoint. You got a no-nonsense Flyknit upper. You don't need that Dynamic Fit Collar, none of that nonsense. It's gone. You get a traditional cut with a Flyknit upper, a solid sole plate. From a performance standpoint, I really think the Hypervenom Phantom is a good shoe from Nike, and at least on a personal level, it's probably one that I have the most interest in. I always consider myself to be sort of someone that would wear the Magista line, but given this new Hypervenom Phantom 3, should I take the plunge into a Nike shoe, I really think this is the one I would get. I'm gonna slip them on so you guys get a look at how these things fit and feel on feet and what sizing's like, so stay tuned for that. Okay guys, so there's a quick look at the Nike Hypervenom Phantom 3s on feet. From right out of the box, this is really a pretty comfortable shoe actually. As far as fit goes, it's kind of a nice happy medium between the Mercurial Superfly and the Magista Obra. It's not too narrow, not too wide. It's got a nice combination of that thin one-to-one feel as well as a padded feel that you would get from the Obra. So in terms of a nice compromise between those two shoes, I think that's where the Hypervenom Phantom 3 fits in. It's not too padded like the Obra. It's got a bit more padding and feel and touch on the ball in comparison to the Mercurial Superfly, but it's not that super thin feeling shoe that you would get from the Superfly either. So it's a nice happy medium between the two. As far as sizing goes, I would suggest going true to size. This boot fits well in terms of length. On me, I would get true to size. It fits very well. In terms of width, it's a tighter fitting shoe, a modern fitting shoe like a lot of other shoes are nowadays, but it's not overly tight or overly narrow like the Mercurial line. That's all for this video, so that's it for this review and the on-feet portion of this video. This was Mike McIntyre with All Things Sports. Thank you very much for watching, and take care. We'll see you in the next video.
Thank you guys very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, smash that like button, leave a comment, and consider subscribing for more videos. See you guys next time on All Things Sports by Mike McIntyre.